from his studios in New York. It's time for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's your host, Dan Tortora.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. You know what it is. You also know that you're watching on Facebook Live, facebook.com/livenowdt. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on all of these listening platforms. And you can also check out the show after the fact in the archives on TuneIn, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, Podbean, and so on and so forth. Many ways to get involved with the show. We thank you however you do it, and I'm always happy to have a good friend on the show, and that is Katie Kolinski. She's with me right now. Spent 7 years on the Syracuse men's basketball staff, won a MAC championship last year with the Buffalo Bulls women's basketball team, and is now with the point guards at Lafayette, and for the women's basketball team, D1 Lafayette Patriot League, an assistant coach on the team, and always somebody that, like I said, I appreciate having on the show and catching up with. So let's bring her on, Katie Kolinski. Katie, how are we doing today?
Dan, you always give me too nice of, introductions, but I'm doing really well, just a beautiful day in Eastern PA.
I mean, what should I say? Like, hey, coming up next is Katie Kolinski. She's kind of a pain in the butt. She always begs to be on the show. I don't really like her, but I put her on the show because I know her dad. I mean, what am I supposed to say?
I don't know. I just feel like you give me too much credit, but I'll take it.
Hey, listen, I tell God all the time, I'm like, you overbless me, but please don't misunderstand that. I'm not giving any of it back. So I'm keeping it. So before we go anywhere, I want to talk about this. Okay, there's two things. Number one, I'm going to put you on blast. So Brianna Stewart came, she was here in Central New York when I was coming back in from working in Orlando, and you know Brianna very well. So I'm going to put you on blast and say, number one, you need to get Brianna Stewart and me on the phone because I want to talk to this wonderful lady who was someone who was on the same team as my cousin when she was at CNS, and she got to spend some time with my cousin Sammy. So, number one, you need to make that happen, and I'm putting that on blast here on the show. And number two, so I would love to get your response for that. And then number two, speak on the fact that whenever Brianna Stewart comes back to Syracuse, you always end up working her out a little bit.
Good luck. That's all I'm going to say is good luck. I'll be lucky to get a text back, but I'm just messing. But Bree's just really good people, and I'll see what I can do. But I'll probably get a text saying, go through her agent or something because she's just so busy and has so many requests. But the way she's handled herself through this injury has really impressed me. She really has just taken it on with just taking it on head on, and I think she's going to be an even better player when she comes back. And, I love the fact that she's from Syracuse, and I just think the way she carries herself like a pro, and I think she's the best women's player in the whole country. So it's a blessing to be able to know her, and she's just helped me even like on my job searches, and anytime I have questions, or, when I got to go out to Seattle and she kind of took me in, and I got to go out to their practices out there, and, I can't say good enough things about Bree. So, I'll do my best, Dan, but it's hard for me, to get a hold of her. So we'll see. But, I'll put my prayers in the air for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make that happen. But, Brianna Stewart, she's been such a tremendous piece of our history of Central New York. And, everything she did at CNS and then everything she did at UConn, 4 years, a champion 4 times. She was heading up that group and obviously, was playing like an MVP all the way through. Then she goes off to the WNBA, and like you said, best player in the country. We've seen her be one of the best things to ever come out of Central New York, and arguably maybe the best thing, maybe the best athlete, maybe when we look at this at the end of it all, she is. And then, for men and women altogether, one of the greatest ever from Central New York, and then one of the greatest to go through UConn, and now one of the greatest professional players. Just what you can say about what she's become, because she was this girl at CNS, like quiet girl, growing, getting into her body, learning her game, doing her thing, and then she became one of the greatest on that level, the next level, the level after that, and I can only imagine that whatever she does after basketball, she'll be on another level probably where almost nobody is up there as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've taken away from her is just her work ethic. You know, when I was staying with her out in Seattle, like, she was waking up at 7 in the morning to do Pilates, you know, just to get her body right, and the way she changed her diet. And then she's always in the gym working on her game, and even on, like, holidays and stuff, she's in the gym. And, you know, I just have utmost respect for Breanna Stewart. I just think she's the ultimate pro, and I don't even think of her as, like, the best women's basketball player. I just think of her as one of the best basketball players in the country. And
Amen.
You know, it's just the work she's done. It was amazing to watch her out there. You know, to wake up early to do that, or you know, before she went to bed, she's always going to the steam room. Like, she just always took care of herself, and you know, that's what makes you an ultimate pro, and the way you carry yourself. And she's just one of the most humble people, and she's been through a lot in her life, and I really do have that much respect for her. Like, I don't even think she knows how much respect I really have for her. And you know, knowing that she comes from our area, it makes it even that much better, because you know, it gives us hope. Like, it gives me hope, you know, knowing that, you know, I can kind of, you know, take after her one day and hopefully follow my dreams the way she has. And, you know, like I said, just utmost respect. And I don't think people give her enough credit for who she is.
No, absolutely not. Speaking here with Katie Kolinski about Breanna Stewart and everything that she's done in representation. You know, you've been able to represent Central New York as well. I want to give a shout out to somebody else who's a part of today's show, and that's Will Amica. And, you know, I was talking to you off the air about Will and, you know, how much I care for him and, you know, all the guys that I've really gotten to know over at West Genesee and got to be with them in their, you know, road, not just last season to a state championship, but for, you know, a few years, you know, with Luke Sutherland and Will Amica and Christian Rossi and everybody, and obviously head coach Fred Kent. And you told me that, you know, you've known Will for a long time too, and he's just committed to D1 Albany to play basketball collegiately. Just what your thoughts are about Will Amica.
Yeah, I think I'm allowed to comment. I'm not sure because it's a men's side, but I've known him forever, and I'm just really happy for him and his family. And he's just such a hard worker. I worked with him a couple years ago or last summer, and he just has the ultimate work ethic also. And I think it's just a common theme for people. Like, when you work and you put the time into it, you know, good things happen to you. And he just has a great family. And obviously he goes to West Genny, and you know, that's my alma mater. And I'm just really happy for the way, like, him and Luke put really West Genny on the map. And for basketball, just like the Twins did there too. So I'm just really happy for him. You know, it's always good when you see people coming out of West Genny doing good things based off of their work ethic.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we step forward here, we talk about good things based off of work ethic. You've gotten this opportunity as an assistant coach at Lafayette for Division I women's basketball. And, you know, to be at this level and to be able to do this, what have you learned from your time on the job so far? I mean, I've seen you, you know, obviously posted pictures having some fun with the point guards. And we'll get into the fact that there was some pre-video dancing and some good old fun, but what's it been like for you to work with the point guards on this team and just be around the Lafayette team in general so far?
Oh man, I've loved every minute of it. It really is a dream come true. I just wake up so happy every day, knowing I get to go coach basketball. Like, how cool is that? Like, that is my job. I don't even feel like it's a job. It's just a passion, you know. And I have just fed off of our staff, you know, Kia, and I keep saying this, but Kia just works so hard, and she's just so on top of everything. And, you know, Coach Nat, she's one of the best. You know, she's taken me under her wing. And Coach Tom, he's been coaching forever. He was at Delaware when Deladon was there, when they went to Sweet 16. He was at LaSalle for a lot of years, and it's just been a great atmosphere. Like, I just go in there so excited, and we meet every morning at 9 a.m. about recruiting and, you know, just catching up on stuff. And we really, too, at Lafayette, like, we're trying to set up our kids for their future. So a lot of our kids are doing internships in the summertime. You know, Kia's really big on their development as people, and I love that about her, because, you know, that's why I want to get into coaching, is the development of the kids on and off the court. And it's just been an awesome feeling. You know, it's just exciting to try to really, you know, do something we haven't done before at Lafayette, and that's what we're building for, and it's a process. And you know, the kids have been working so hard. That's what makes it so much fun, is the work they've been putting in. Like, we've been in there every day, and it's just been so much fun. You know, the kids are enjoying it, and it's a great atmosphere, and I'm so happy.
And for you, I mean, this is something you wanted, an opportunity. You were hoping that things would work out. You didn't know what the next opportunity would be. And now, I can see it and I can hear it from you that you're so excited, you're so happy. I mean, we see the pictures, we see you out there and doing your thing, and then just hearing it in your voice, how excited and how happy you are, just what it means to you to believe, when people say, I prayed, I wanted this, I asked God for this, I've worked so hard for this. You don't always know what the next step is and what the next thing is around the corner. And you had that time of adversity. You had that time of saying, what's the next step? What's going to be the next thing? And now you're here and you have this and you're so excited about it. Just what you can say about, that opportunity and staying the course with your dreams, because there's always ebb and flow to life, but you believed in your dreams and you went after them. And now it sounds like you're on a team that you're really excited to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, you just never, you just put the work in, you just never know what's going to happen. And even when I was at Syracuse, as a manager, I think I got a little stipend my junior and senior year, and they did pay for grad school. But before that, I didn't have my school paid for, and it wasn't a paid position that I got to go and be a manager every day. But it's just a sacrifice you have to, do just to get where you want to go. And that's what life's about. It's about sacrifice. And, I just been learning so much as we go. And that sacrifice at Syracuse, it allowed me to be in front of coaches and players that are the best in the world. And that sacrifice allowed me to learn. That's all I wanted to do was learn. I just wanted an opportunity there. And, then I get to go to Buffalo and I get to learn even more from another legendary coach who coached at Syracuse, who played at Syracuse. And I've just been so blessed, If I didn't have that year last year, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And it's just, God puts you in the right places at the right time, and I just feel like I'm at the right place that I need to be at right now. And, it's just dreams, and I never stopped believing in my dreams, and I never stopped believing in myself. I knew, that I really put the work in, for 7 years as a manager, as a GA, and, just trusting that process. And you just don't know when your opportunity is going to come, but you just got to stay ready. And, I'd be crazy if I sat here and said I'm a phenomenal coach and I have all the answers and I know what I'm doing. And no, it's a learning process, but that's what I love. That's what I love about the job is I get to learn every day and I get to learn from really good people. And, I'm just going to take it all in. And, I just want to be a great coach one day. And that's what I'm working towards. And hopefully, we can change lives as we go. And that's what it's about. It's about the kids. It's about the players. So.
And, speaking here with Katie Kolinski, once again, an assistant coach for Lafayette women's basketball inside of Division I, the Patriot League. And Katie, as we look at all this, there's different things that you posted, you put up here on social media, and I love that you share this stuff because I think it's important to spread positivity on social media. You put the Bird Gang thing up there, and, is this a theme that we're going to expect to see throughout the season?
Well, I love the Eagles so much, so I had to put the Bird Gang up there yesterday watching their game. I took a couple hours out of my day to check in on their game, and I'm hoping to be able to go catch a game soon because I'm 45 minutes from Philly. How exciting is that? Growing up an Eagles fan, and it's exciting times. Watching the game, watching Carson Wentz play yesterday, it kind of reminded me of DeVito, I feel like could be a Wentz one day, but I feel like it was just when Wentz is in the pocket, it's just so, his composure. He's never rattled. It's I'm a double pump, and I'm going to look you off one way, and I'm going to look the other way, and I'm going to let it fly to D. Jackson down the field because I know he's there. So, I feel like DeVito could take a lot from watching Wentz and how he, carries himself and the way he can make plays just stay. You'll think he's about to get sacked. Next thing you know, he double clutches. He runs out the pocket. He's telling his receiver just to keep going, Alshon Jeffrey. And, just little stuff like that. I just really enjoyed watching the Eagles play yesterday.
And, you got that up there with the Bird Gang doing their thing. Rob Drummond was on the show yesterday, another one of my good friends. And I asked Rob, I said, what are you excited about for our pregame Syracuse show starting off this weekend at the Wildcat? And he's like, I'm happy my Eagles won, boy. And I was just like, Rob, that's got nothing to do with it. But he just wanted to say it. He was so excited. But, I got to give big ups to a guy. Chip Kelly got rid of all of those fan favorites for the Eagles, And, Andy Reid just got LaShawn McCoy back, but in Kansas City. And on the other side of it, we're seeing Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson been forever since he's been an Eagle. He got kicked out the door as well when Chip Kelly came in. 154 yards receiving, 8 catches, targeted 10 times, more catches than anybody on the Eagles in week 1, more targets, more yards. The closest yardage to him on the Eagles was Zach Ertz with 54, 100 yards less. And Deshaun Jackson had 2 touchdowns. So you got to be feeling really awesome as an Eagles fan to not only get D-Jack back, but look at what he did in week 1.
Oh, man, it's just exciting. And their offensive line is unbelievable. Like, Brandon Brooks comes back after 8 months after a torn Achilles. Lane Johnson was pancaking dudes out there. Jason Peters is, 37 years old, killing it. Jason Kelsey, he's a great center. I love the team. They're so exciting. Their offensive line is great. Their defensive line is great. Their cornerbacks need some work. But we've known that coming into the season because they were kind of iffy last year, too. They got torched in the playoffs. But it's just so exciting. He's got 5 weapons on offense, wide receivers, Zach Ertz. We haven't even talked about him. And I love the Eagles. I could talk about them all day. I'm a big Wentz fan. I'm a big Malcolm Jenkins fan. I think it's awesome. People like Brandon Graham took a pay cut to stay with them. It's fun. I love watching them play. So, I could talk Bird Gang all day.
Well, how about this? You let go of Nick Foles. He goes to Jacksonville. 4 years, $88 million. With incentives, could be at least $100 million. And in the first game as a Jaguar, he breaks his left clavicle.
Yeah.
So I don't even have words at this point for that situation. Gardner Minshew came in, and I covered him at college. He played like a champion, but 22 of 25, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, plenty of yardage, played very, very well. Only 3 incompletions, made the got the receivers going, had his timing down and everything. So shout out to Jacksonville staff who had, Gardner ready, but just thoughts on the former Eagle Nick Foles. He didn't even get to play a full half, and now he's going to be out, and he's going to have to get his body back to 100%.
I think the common theme here, every time he leaves the Eagles, it's just bad news. He went out to, I think St. Louis, and it was terrible. He lost the starting spot, just bad experience. He almost stopped playing football. Comes back to the Eagles, wins the Super Bowl, almost brings him back to the Super Bowl last year if Alshon Jeffrey doesn't drop the ball right before they were supposed to call a timeout in the playoffs. And then he leaves again, and now he gets injured. I think the answer is he's got to stay in Philly. He's got to come back.
Well, that's the hard part. Obviously you want to see him do well. I was happy he became a Jaguar, and now we got to see what happens. But he said there's no timetable, but he expects to be back. So you got the Bird Gang out there for the Eagles. For the Lafayette Leopards, is there any tagline this year?
We really just say, roll pards, run with us. Stuff like that. But yeah, we use a lot of leopards as our common themes and stuff, and what we say, and hunt with us, so it's kind of cool. I like being a leopard. It's just exciting. I love everything about Lafayette. And I can't wait for the season. I talked to my dad tonight, and he was like, Katie, the second game of the season, you're playing at Binghamton. He's like, we're there. He's like, I'm gonna call the rest of the family, so hopefully my family can come out to Binghamton. And it's just cool. My aunt from Vegas said she's gonna fly in for a game, and just hearing the excitement from my family has been pretty cool. Just the support I've gotten from them, and it's an exciting time. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's going to be obviously a lot of awesome stuff coming up, and playing teams like Colgate that obviously you've been around, familiar with. Colgate, Cornell are in the mix of all this. Like you said, Binghamton, University of Albany, St. John's, a lot of teams that are in the mix here. You get to play Navy this season as well a couple times inside of the Patriot League, and so there's a lot to look forward to for you as you step forward into this, and for you, Katie, to have this next chapter and to have this team. You've gotten to work with the point guards a little bit. You've gotten to be around the point guards. What are your thoughts on the unit that you're working with?
Well, I think it's just fun because Kia allows the point guards to really play free. So in transition, she lets them push the ball, and we're trying to play fast this year, and she really allows them just to make decisions based off of what they see. So they kind of get to have control of the offense. So a lot of stuff that we've been teaching as a staff for the point guards is just like playing low through contact, playing on balance, and then just having like a combo move to go to, and then playing together within the offense. So constant movement and stuff like that. So it's just been fun. Like I just been trying to just have a lot of energy. That's all I can bring every day is my energy. Be right, be wrong, but bring energy. So that's just kind of what I've been doing, just trying to bring as much energy I can. And, the biggest thing is just having confidence and the players having confidence. And that's what we try to instill in them. And, it's been awesome. Like, I've loved every minute of being on that court and being a part of the process. And I love it. I just love every minute of it. And I love seeing players grow. So we'll see what happens, It's a long season, but we're just going to try to take it one day at a time and see what happens this year. They brought in 3 freshmen that are all pretty good, and, I'm excited that they're going to be a part of it this year. And I just think we have a lot of our pieces from last year's team. We had a couple people injured last year that are back this year. We have a top player in our conference on our team, and Natalie. So, hopefully it all works out for the better, and just the process. That's all I just keep talking about. Just enjoy that process.
Absolutely. And, you talk about the attitude, and obviously your team is having some fun out there and having a good time. And some of that stuff got posted that when they're getting ready for their pictures, they were having some fun. And just what you could say about the personalities that are on this team and the fact that, this team is obviously going to work and doing what they need to do to prep for the season, but they're also enjoying their time together.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Life's too short. Like, we're playing basketball, and that was actually the person dancing in the video. Her name is Jess Booth, and, some people will recognize the last name because her brother Phil Booth played at Villanova and won some championships with them, and, she comes from a basketball family and background, and she knows what it's like to have fun. She's from the DMV area, and, just like she's a freshman for us this year, and just stuff like that. Like, we just have an exciting team, and we're trying not to take stuff too serious. We're just trying to have a good time, and that's what Kia's about. Like, the first person that was like, "Where's the music?" during like photo shoot was Kia, our head coach, and I just thought that was awesome. We got to go get our music and play it, and she just understands. She understands the kids and the process, and yeah, I'm excited. I think hopefully we will put the pieces together. We really just try and one at a time.
Absolutely, and for you to get ready for this season. If you've done this so much, you've done it on the women's side, you've done it on the men's side. What is challenging you now? What's kind of on your mind now? Because every chapter in life brings its new challenges, its new excitement. So, to kind of maybe tie all this together, what's on your mind this time around as you've obviously grown and, excelled and gotten experience. So what's kind of with you right now?
Yeah, I'm just trying to learn a little bit more time management, and, it's just a lot at once. Like, you'll try to put your time towards recruiting, and then it's like, dang, like, I got to do the travel. And then it's like, but we have 4 or 5 workouts that are individuals today that we got to be a part of. And, I might have to go on the road recruiting on Thursday because now we can go out recruiting again, and we can go see some kids at open gym. But then, like, oh, we have a recruit coming on Saturday, so, like, her itinerary has to be done and all that stuff. So it's like, it's just making sure your time management is there and making sure everything's getting done. And that's just been my biggest thing is how to manage stuff because obviously, like I said, we don't have a dobo. So not only in my dobo, but I'm assistant coach and, so is everyone else on staff. Like they all take on the same type of role. So it's just like trying to learn everything and just time manage it because if you don't manage your time, then, you're going to be working till 11 o'clock every night and they're already pretty late nights. So I've just been trying to manage my time and make sure I'm working hard and doing what I need to do and just grow as a person, as a coach, and, giving my best effort to these kids. That's just my biggest thing. Like, how can I give you my best effort on a daily basis? How can I bring that energy? Like, that's one of the biggest things I learned from Hop is, what's your energy like in that room? Like, he used to tell me all the time, Katie, if your energy sucks, get out of here. So I've been trying to, like, that's always been in the back of my mind. It's just my energy.
And, what can you say about how hard? I mean, is it hard to keep that energy up? Is it hard to keep it going? Because, I know that. You always have to go in. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's negative. It's hard sometimes. We all have our moments. But, you know, you don't want to call up, you know, you don't want to call me up on the phone and, hey, Katie, how you doing? You know, you don't want to be around somebody who's down and going through that. Like, everybody has their moments, but you want to be able to, you know, be positive and always try to put your best foot forward. Do you feel like that's gotten easier for you over time to just be able to do that?
Yeah, you know, sometimes, like, I do have, like, natural energy, but I'm also, like, a pretty mellow person, so I've been trying to just really focus on that part. You know, like, some people just have it, like, yeah, you're just energetic, and, like, I've kind of had to teach myself through the years how to have that, bring that energy every single day, so I've just really been trying to focus on that, and, like, I'm just a very chill person at the same time, so it's like, as soon as I get on that court, I put on the switch, and I try to be the person that the players need me to be and the coaches need me to be, and, you know, same with them, you know, if I'm a player and I watch a coach that doesn't have energy, like, I'm probably not going to have energy, you know, so I really just try to bring that energy every single day through workouts, whatever it is, you know, like, I talk smack during the workouts, you know, I try to get under the player's skin, I try to bring, you know, the best out in them as much as I can, because that's what we're there for. We're there to get the most out of them. So I have fun with it. It's fun. Like, I'm coaching basketball. I get to wake up and coach basketball. I get to talk smack. I get to run up and down the court. You know, I get to dribble a basketball. So it's just a great time.
That coming from Katie Kolinski here on the broadcast. Katie, as always, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the positivity that you bring forward to it. I'm excited about this season. I'm excited to see what I see. When people are positive energy, it gets contagious. So now I'm excited to see the product that you're going to put on the court and what's going to happen here with Lafayette as the Leopards get set for the 2019 and 20 season. Obviously, you and I are going to be keeping in touch. Congratulations, as I told Rob, congratulations to your Eagles. And, you know, also the Cowboys won and the Giants played like garbage. So, I mean, however you want to look at week one in the NFL, but congratulations on starting it off right.
No, I appreciate that, Dan. And, yeah, we'll see what happens this season. You know, I try to do what I can, and, you know, it's really on the players just to, you know, have the confidence to do their thing. And Kia, you know, she has the right system in place, and I really believe in her. And, you know, I think she's one of a kind, and I'm excited, you know. I'm really, really, really excited. And, you know, hopefully people will follow along with our season and root us on and, you know, see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, as always, I thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking with you soon, and hopefully you can get yourself out to an Eagles game as well.
Oh, it's coming very soon.
All right. Sounds good. I'll talk with you soon.
All right, Dan.